I already recorded this voiceover once before, but I was listening to it back and I realised I said the word like about 1,000,000 times. I just did it again. I was just like, kind of like, kind of like, I was thinking like, and it's my own voice, but listening to it back, I was just thinking, oh my god, shut up. So I'm gonna try again, and hopefully, because I know a bit more of what I'm saying, I won't have to use the word like 1,000,000 times. So I've been working on this project with my friend Charlie, who's also an artist, and we've called the project Modern Woman, and it's basically just about all the topics surrounding women, what it means to be a woman, femininity, the issues faced by women, all sorts of stuff. And this video is just me documenting the paintings from one of those topics, because I haven't done a video in a while, I haven't really filmed anything in a while, so I thought I'd film it. And I just noticed that in the background of the painting video you can see that I'm watching Vampire Diaries. I have been binging Vampire Diaries like a lot. It's just a good show to have in the background. It's interesting, it's a bit cheesy, but I do love it. Anyway, what am I saying? So we've essentially, for this project, written down loads of like prompts, and on a piece of paper put them into a cup and pick them out each week. Like, I've been taking turns picking them out, not each week, just each time we finish the last thing. And in case you are interested, I'll put photos of the previous illustrations that I've done for the previous topics that we've already finished. So the topic that these paintings were inspired by was race, and for this topic I decided to do diptych paintings, and if you don't know what diptych means, it just means two paintings that you've created purposely to go together, that you just painted for, they're like a pair. Anyway, that's why they have a similar composition and colour scheme and stuff. But yeah, I quite enjoy picking the little topics out of the cup. It's quite fun, it's like a little thrill, you don't know what you're gonna get. And with the pandemic and things not being quite back to normal yet, you got to get your thrills where you can take them, you know what I mean? I am starting to get back out there and do things again, but recently it's really just been sitting at home watching Line of Duty, But yeah, I thought race was a good topic, because for women of colour, it's almost like you have this double handicap. You got to deal with racism and misogyny, as if one isn't enough, Just getting shit from multiple angles. It's great. I decided to focus on two main issues, one being the Black Lives Matter movement, which has been really prevalent recently, and the other is Asian hate, because since coronavirus has come along, there has been a massive increase in Asian hate. I think it's like 300% increase. It's ridiculous. So I thought I would do these two portraits showing the subjects. I wanted to show like strength. I wanted you to look them in the eye, for them to stare you down face on, and just defiantly in the face of all the shit that's being thrown at them constantly. Basically, the vibe I was going for was, yeah, I go through this life and I take a lot of shit, but you know what, I'm still here, I'm still standing, and you can go fuck yourself. I'm swearing a lot. Some people like censor their curse words. I don't know if that's a necessity, if that helps you with the whole YouTube algorithm, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna swear. That's how I fucking do. I sound like an asshole. Anyway, I'm just gonna move on. From my perspective, from my experience, maybe I'm biased because I am half black, so maybe I see more of the racism against black people in my day-to-day life. Maybe I'm paying more attention to it, but I feel like racism against the Asian community is a bit more subtle than it is towards the black community. I feel like I see black men being murdered in the streets, black women being neglected in hospitals, and all of this more aggressive racism towards black people, especially in the media, but I don't see it as much for Asian people. It's a bit more subtle when I do see it, but I do see it. And I see it come out in things like the model minority myth. There's a lot of Asian stereotypes that I've had to realise, like, they were pushed into my mind by society. They are untrue. It's ridiculous. I had to unlearn that shit. From what I've seen and the accounts that I've read up about on the internet, Asian women tend to fall into two stereotypes. People tend to categorize Asian women into two stereotypes, and that is like the dragon lady or the demure little geisha, like innocent, beautiful lotus flower of a woman, or like sexually aggressive and sneaking in and they know martial arts and some other bullshit. And I've seen a lot of Asian women even joke about it, how they will meet men who watch a lot of anime or something like that, and they talk to them expecting them to be these demure, submissive little cartoon character. I don't know. And the dragon lady stereotype is actually like pretty well documented. There's a Wikipedia page, there's like all sorts of people talking about the dragon lady stereotype. And essentially what that is that there's a strong Asian woman. She's very deceitful, she's very mysterious, she's very sexual, and they're essentially the villain. But in both of these extremes, the underlying issue here is that Asian women are very sexualized and very reduced to these ridiculous stereotypes, and that is a huge issue. And for black women, a lot of harmful stereotypes stem from them being strong, which could be flipped as positive, but it manifests in some very dangerous ways. Often black women are seen as angry, violent, mannish, ghetto, you know, that kind of stuff. And not only does that manifest itself in the way that black women are seen and compared to more Western white beauty standards, like they're just not going to fit in, but also, as well as being excluded from those beauty standards, specific features on black women are seen as very attractive, like big lips, big asses, big breasts, but just not on black women. And I mean, you know, black characteristics, black traits, black culture has often been criticised when black people use it, but then commodified and, you know, used for praise, money, whatever, when white people use it, and that is an issue in itself. And there are also much more sinister issues, like the fact that black women often have way higher rates of medical negligence. Black people aren't really like understood as well by doctors in general. A lot of medical students were asked about it's ridiculous, they were asked about like black skin and white skin, and a lot of medical students legit thought that black skin was thicker than white skin. Dermatological conditions look very different on black and white skin, but they're not really taught what to look for on black skin. They just taught about these skin conditions on white skin, stuff like that. Black women's mortality rates during childbirth are so much higher. It's a lot harder to get treatment if you're a black woman. It's just all that stuff. Like, doctors just don't believe that black women are in pain. They just don't believe them when they go to hospital and say, hey, this is wrong with me. They're just ignored a lot of the time, and it's disgusting. And as someone who's mixed, my experiences will be different from someone who is fully black. I have what I call light privilege, which is kind of like white privilege, but not as good. I did draw a little bit from personal experience when I was writing the text on these images, which the text, I honestly did rush it a bit because I've been working on these paintings for so long. They've just been hanging around my room for ages. I was just struggling to get them done, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to bang this last bit out, I'm just going to do it, I'm just going to get it done. And it doesn't look too bad. I think it just looks a bit sloppy, you know. It could have been better. It's fine. It's fine though. But yeah, I didn't have to deal with a ton of racism growing up. Luckily, I lived in quite a diverse area growing up. I lived in London. I didn't have to deal with a lot of shit that a lot of other people had to deal with. I got kind of shit like, oh, you sound so white, you act so white, like, oh, that's your white side, that's your black side, like, oh, your hair looks like weird, you should do something with it, it's just a bit wild, like, it's not very appropriate, like, shit like that. And I think, like, all this shit just kind of made it, like, I was overly aware of my race as a child, but like also didn't really want to accept it. Like I had just this weird relationship with my own ethnicity, my own color, my own like my hair, and it was just like a journey that I didn't need to be on, that I shouldn't have had to be on. Yeah, I have been rambling for a hot minute now, so I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna try and stop posting videos more regularly because I do like making videos. It's fun for me, but it is just like a bit of work. But anyway, see you later.